Hello all, welcome to Autobot YouTube channel. Myself Rahul Unikrishan. Today we are going to learn about UiPath Task Mining. So this will be a series of videos in which I'm going to cover what is UiPath Task Mining and how you can enable a UiPath task Mining, and what are the types of task mining and how you can use it to discover new automation scope in your account, right? So all these things we are going to cover. So if you are interested with this topic, please do subscribe and follow our channel. So let's go to the basic intro regarding UiPath Task Mining, right? So UiPath Task Mining is one of an important feature that is a discovery offering by UiPath, right? So let me go to the next slide. So as we all know, there are different states or stages and tools that is offering by UiPath, right? So what are those different stages? One is discovery, and next is automate, and next is operate. So what is a discovery? So discovery, so just consider an account, right? So most of the accounts are struggling to identify what are the automation scope they can identify in their account, right? So it's very difficult, like to implement a digitalization in any account. It is very much difficult to understand where we can start the automation, and which automation process can give better ROI, right? So identifying this automation scope is very important to give a better result by implementing the automation, right? So there comes the discovery phase. So task mining is one of the tool that comes under discovery, right? So if an account is struggling to identify an automation opportunity in their account, we have to, or we can use task mining to identify the automation opportunities in that account. I hope you're getting. So just consider, mm, uh, just consider a support project, right? Where multiple people. So just consider around 8 people are working on closing some ticket. So all these 8 people are following different methods or different ways for solving the ticket, right? So, but there is no automation opportunities as of now, or no automation implementation that is done. Still, this 8 members are doing all this ticket resolution manually, right? And they don't know how to implement the automation or how to identify the automation scope for the particular process that they are doing repeatedly. So, what we can do is we can seek the help of task mining to understand the better path of that particular process and the possibility of doing the implementation. Okay, so just consider if 8 members are working on a same process, and if they are following different process for solving this particular process, we can record this process in all these 8 members, and we can come up with a solution. Okay, actually this task mining will give a diagram and a basic automation structure as well, skeleton as well, with the entire flow that these 8 members has performed, right? So it will give us an understanding. Okay, this is the process that is happening in that particular account, and this many repeated tasks these people are doing, and that will help us to understand or to identify the automation scope with the particular project or with the process, right? So there we can start the automation implementation. So there we can use the task mining, right? So task mining is of two types. So one is assisted and unassisted task mining. So I will tell you more about all those things in the coming slides, right? And I'm not going deep dive into this automate and operate stages. So now today we are going to concentrate only on the task mining, right? So what is discovery? Continuously uncover opportunities for process and task improvement, helping you identify the highest ROI areas, right? So let's go to the next slide. So let us understand what is UiPath task mining. So UiPath task mining enable you to gain a deep understanding of existing process happening on your team's desktop and discover new automation opportunities and process improvement areas, right? And task mining collects employee desktop data, logs it upon each user action, and leverages AI for analysis. You can then accelerate your discovery journey and use the actionable insights provided by the product to identify the best automation ideas, right? So UiPath task mining is also have different stages, right? So the first stage is like it will record the entire action that you are performing on your desktop, right? How it will work is like it will monitor your machine or monitor the machine of different employees, and it will record each and every action that you're performing on the particular application that you have opted. Okay, so just consider you are doing some process on Chrome on a daily basis, right? You can select you want to record that particular Chrome as application. Then task mining will record each and every step that you're performing along with the screenshot, right? And it will create a diagram. Okay, it will create a flow chart with the flow or with the process, continuous process that you are doing on your desktop, right? So that will help us to or help the BA or the team lead to understand what are the repetitive process that a team member is performing on that particular desktop, as well as it will help to identify the best approach as well, right? So just consider on a same process multiple employees are following different path, right? So this UiPath task mining will give you the best approach to find the solution, right? So that is one important thing. So it will help to identify new automation opportunities, and it will help to show you the best improved path as well for the automation, right? So that's how it is working. And let me go to the next slide. I hope you got a clear understanding about UiPath the task mining. So in the coming videos, I will show you like how you need to do all this process using assisted task mining as well as with the unassisted task mining. So let's go to the next slide. Okay, so what are the benefits of going to use this UiPath task mining? So it will help to save cost and time versus traditional consulting-led approach. So just consider if you are going to ask a BA or to the person who are doing this process on a daily basis, right? It may be very difficult for them to identify the best automation process for implementing the automation, right? Or best process having the scope of automation, right? So if you're implementing UiPath task mining, it will help to identify the best process that we can offer automation, and it will help to minimize the time for completing that process, and within that time we can use the resources, right, or the employees to do some productive work, right, and engage business teams with an objective view of opportunities, right? So it will help to understand like or it will help to give some insights to the business team like or these many processes are happening, and it will help to give or it will help to give an insight on the different opportunities of implementing the automation, right, in the particular account, and accelerate discovery and analysis parts of your duties and reduce time on process of documentation. So it will fast track the discovery and analysis part of the process that you are doing on a daily basis, and even it will help to create the documentation, right, with the screenshot like what is the process that you are doing. So this task capture and all as part of your task mining will help to capture the end-to-end process that you are performing on the desktop, right? And you can directly export it to a PDF file or to different format, and you can submit that to your management as a proposal, right? And get an accelerator starting point with an automation skeleton. So one thing is that if you record the entire action, there is an option of exporting that to SAML file as well, right? So that will give you a skeleton of the automation process. And next is privacy and GDPR consent compliance. So this particular tool is very much secure, and it will not keep any of your secure data in any of the insecure places. So it is strictly following all the compliance as part of your organization. Okay, so there is a list of security compliance that UiPath is providing for this particular UiPath task mining. So there is a documentation as well. I'll be sharing all these document in the comment session. Okay? Okay, so let's go to the next slide. So task mining approaches, right? So as I mentioned earlier, like there are two approaches for this task mining, right? One is assisted task mining, and next is unassisted task mining. So assisted task mining, as a name suggesting, like it needs some assistance to identify the or to discover the automation. So it empowers you to capture variations of a non-task and then reviews and optimize the process in a collaborative manner. So this is nothing like you have to manually record each and every step, and it will help to collaborate these recordings and to give you a uh, process flow that will help to understand the automation scope, right? But what about unlisted task mining? So it allows you to mine unknown tasks and discover repetitive tasks that are suited for automation, right? So just consider in your company you have some process that you keep on doing, but still it's not identifiable to do or consider or to consider for automation. You are not aware like this can be an opportunity for automation. So what you have to do is we can install the UiPath task mining agents in your machine, and it will keep on recording the actions that employees are performing, and it will directly add up these details to automation hub, and there it will collaborate all the data that was shared by different users, and it will give you an overview like what are the different processes that is happening in the particular account and what are the best approaches and how where we can implement the automation process, right? So that will be unknown task, right? We are not sure what are the different process that we are doing repeatedly, and where we can implement the automation. But assisted task mining is like we already have some insight. Okay, these are some automation opportunities that we can implement, but we are not sure about the best approach, right? So this assisted task mining will help you to identify the best approach, and it will give you the diagram as well as the basic skeleton of the automation, right? So these are the two differences. But regarding the license as well as the cost as well, assisted task mining and unassisted task mining is having a lot of a difference. So I will give you some insights about those differences in the coming slides. So let me go to next slide. Yeah. ATM versus UTM. So ATM is assisted task mining and UTM is unassisted task mining. So what are the points that we have to keep in mind regarding ATM, right? So collect variations of a specific task by capturing each actions you perform. Okay. So as I mentioned, like for a specific task, it will capture each action like mouse click or keystrokes or keys. Everything it will record, right? Merge variations into comprehensive picture of your task for end-to-end understanding and further analysis. So there is an option, there is a feature of merging the variations, right? So just consider if you are doing the process multiple times, or if you are recording the process multiple times and you followed a different process, right? So at the end you can merge these to a single flow, like two approaches are there, and if you want to merge it to a single one, you can merge the variations, right? Edit the task graph and annotate actions. You can edit the graph that got created, and you can add annotations as well for better documentation as well as for understanding, and accelerate actionability by generating essential assets for automation implementation like a PDD and a SAML file. So just consider like once after doing this ATM, so this ATM we can capture using task capture, and once it is done, it can be exported to either PDD and SAML file. So usually this PDD process definition document will be sharing as a proposal to the client for giving a clear understanding about what's the process that is happening and how we are going to automate this process, right? With all the diagrams and so PDD generation, we can directly use it with assisted task mining, and we can export that to SAML file as well. So it will give you the skeleton of the automation, and we just need to modify on top of it. So it will help to reduce the time of implementing automations, right? And what about UTM? So correct employees desktop interactions within pre-selected applications by recording each step in the background. So as I mentioned, like we have to use task mining agents for doing this recording, and we have to select which applications these agents need to monitor and need to record, right? So just consider an employee is using some 5 applications, and out of that only 3 applications we need to record. Means we have to first select all those 3 applications, right? Then we have to tell the agent you need to continuously monitor these 3 applications. So it will keep on recording the actions that you're performing on these 3 applications, and it will help to create a process flow, right? And even this agent also will be recording each and every step that you're performing, like mouse click, keystroke, screen, and it will take the screenshots as well, right? And visualize the process map, including all its variable paths. So it will keep on tracking what are the actions that a user is performing, and it will help to consolidate all the variable paths an employee or the employees are performing, right? And generate a list of repeated tasks and their variations. So as I mentioned, like multiple employees may be following different processes or different paths for a same process. So it will help to track all this repetitive process, and it will help to identify those variations as well. And from there, you can opt the best approach for automation. So these are very few of the important points that you have to keep in mind regarding the UiPath task mining. So the users invited to participate in the recording process need to have an account set up in Automation Cloud. So this is nothing but, like as I mentioned earlier, if you want to record the employees desktop, so just consider some 5 employees desktop. We are going to monitor for someone. This means these employees should have a Automation Cloud account, right? And assisted task mining is available in Automation Cloud. Unassisted task mining is available both in Automation Cloud and Automation Suite. That also we have to keep it in mind. And to work with unassisted task mining, you need to have AI unit or on your account. Each analysis run consume 5,000 AI unit. So as I mentioned earlier, these agents will be recording the different actions that you're performing, right? Then this data will be loaded to an AI model, and this model will analyze the different patterns that this employees has uploaded, and this AI model will create you a clear picture or a single diagram that help to understand the correct process that you need to use for doing the automation, right? So this for this AI model, we need this 5,000 AI unit. Like for each analysis run, it will take around 5,000 AI unit. That also you have to keep in mind. Community and enterprise trial license have limitation for automatic merges with the assisted task mining. So as I mentioned, in assisted task mining, we can merge different variation. So what you have to keep in mind is, like it will offer only 10 free auto merges. After that, it will ask for a license, okay, to upgrade your license, and it is applicable for both community as well as enterprise trial licenses. Okay, so that's it about the introduction and the important points that you need to keep in mind about your path task mining. So now I will show you where we can find the task mining. Right? So what you have to do is just log into cloud.uipath.com. Okay, then in the left hand side, just click here more option and search whether task mining is there or not. Okay, so currently in my cloud account, task mining is not enabled, right? So I'm not able to see the task mining. I can see document understanding, data service, automation ops and all. So we can enable this task mining. So what you have to do is go to admin. Okay, so this task mining will be enabled for a particular tenant level, right? So just go to tenant. My tenant is Autoport. Go to service. Okay, so here I can see the different service that is offering by UiPath, right? And here process launch is the document understanding integration service, and here test manager is also disabled, and task mining is there, that is also disabled. So what I'm going to do is, let me enable this task mining. Okay, and let me go back, and admin integration service apps. Okay, so let me refresh again. Yeah, now we can see the task mining, right? So at the end, now the service is enabled and we are able to see the task mining. So just open that If you click on UiPath Task Mining, it will open up that particular service of task mining, and then we can proceed with the task mining approaches. So as I mentioned earlier, there are two approaches. One is assisted task mining, and another is unassisted task mining, right? So more about this video. First, we have to uh, action on this that maintains alert. Okay, then we can create a new project. If you create a new project, it will ask whether you need to go for assisted or unassisted task mining process, right? And here you can here you have the thing of manage access, so where you can assign different roles to different resources, right? And if you want to invite a new resource, that is also possible, right? So we'll deep dive into all these things in the coming videos. So in this current video, I'm stopping now. So I hope you got a clear understanding about what is task mining and what are the two different approaches and where we can use this task mining, and what are the things that we need to keep in mind while implementing the UiPath task mining in your account, right? So that's all for today. So if you find this video useful, please like the video, share with your friends, and don't forget to subscribe our channel. So thanks for watching the video. Bye.